Full disclosure here, not a boat guy, but that water seems awfully close to the deck level, and even though there's not a lot of waves, it seems to be coming up. I don't really have anything to gauge whether that's safe or not against, because not a boat guy, but a little bit scary. Big river. Today's journey starts us at Dragon Lake on the Canol Road, roughly 110 kilometers northeast of Ross River, where the last video ended. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend going back and watching it. It's a very unique place that you are not going to see a lot of video footage for online. Coming out, it's with the weather being a little bit better, blue skies, the road dried up a little bit, so it's a little bit faster out, but it's pretty easy to see some of the forest fire damage that's in the area. This is going to become a recurrent theme of me commenting about how much it looks burnt, but it's very true through the north. It's astonishing how much is burnt in the last few years. I know it is essential for forest health, or at least I'm told that it is. I'm not a forest scientist. But it's alarming. Like, it's striking. The road, despite being not raining today, it hadn't quite absorbed everything, so there was still a little bit of standing water on top of the road. But it really is a beautiful ride, albeit a little bit bumpy, and granted, it's a lot tougher to ride in when it's wet, but these conditions are pretty good. It tacked up pretty well, and we got a nice little view of the river as the Pelly River next to us here that we'll be crossing. Now, to cross into Ross River, you need to use the ferry that they have going here. It's open, I think, roughly 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. up until 5 o'clock at night. But the bridge there on the left is what the pipeline used to cross over, a 4-inch pipe that they used to run from Norman Wells all the way to Whitehorse. But now it's been turned into a walking bridge. Now, I'm not sure how much traffic it gets because this place is like ridiculously remote, but it's nice that they don't just cut off access to it and turn it dilapidated. We did curiously see if we could maybe get the bikes across there when the ferry guy was gone for lunch, but that's a hard no because somebody thought of that and made sure that the stairwell was not crossable by motorcycle. Now, after we'd crossed, the guy beached the ferry on the other side, and then we were sitting there waiting for him, and he came out and kind of was giving us a grumpy look to get off there, but eventually he realized that he'd left the gate up and we would have had to like jump off of the end of it, so he calmed down and gave us a little bit of a smile. This became a very common theme through the north. We were adding what little fuel we had left because James needs premium and are supposed to run premium in his WR. And we had a long way to go. We had planned on being able to find premium in Ross River, and that turned out to not be true. So we had to jerry can him up. This is self-explanatory. Not cool, but it's neat that we kept on getting rained on even though it was blue sky. We got thoroughly soaked in this rainfall. It is, if you can see it in video, it is really coming down. In crossing to Watson Lake, doing the Canol Road and getting to Carmack's, the road direct from Watson Lake to Carmack's about 500 kilometers, and then the Canol section, we were trying to conserve the premium so that James could use it, but what ended up happening is that in this video right around here, we are coming up to Carmack's, and we came up about 20 kilometers short for James. Thankfully, I had enough fuel to get into town, but it is... From memory, I think it's the only time we fully ran out of fuel, but it became a recurrent theme. So if you're buying a bike for the north, I'd probably at this point recommend you get something that runs on 87. This is camping at Carmack's, beautiful along the river. We met a lot of people there that were canoeing or kayaking down the river, just floating. That sounded very relaxing. Not quite my speed for a 3-week trip, but pretty awesome. Now, returning to the forest fire theme, off in the distance there you can see smoke rising. I did have a lot of video showing different forest fires and so on that we drove through in the area. It's pretty active fire year this year up in this zone. Despite all the rain that we had, we just kept running into them. But it's an uncomfortable feeling when you're in the north because you don't have anywhere to go. You are on the road that you're on, and there's no side roads to escape these things. So if you come across them and you need to turn around, you kind of essentially need to have twice as much fuel as you might think because you might need to double back a longer distance than you have fuel remaining. Stewart Crossing here on the right, it's kind of like, I don't know, weirdly beautiful but also terrible. All the petroglyphs or hieroglyphs on the side there on the rocks showing that we can ruin things in the north as much as we can ruin them in the south. But coming into Dawson here, I know we're rushing through this video, but this is kind of a bridge video as we prepare for the Dempster, which is the next section here. But in Dawson, you come in here, there's a beautiful welcome to Dawson half building there, but you see all of this dredged up rock on the side. I'm not sure which river it was on. I can't remember the name of it, but this is all dredged rock, so it's been run through sifters and, dredge. I'm going to keep using that word. But I'm not sure if it's toxic or not. I would hope that they remediated it, but there isn't a living organism as far as I can tell in that water, so I have my curiosity. Dawson itself, it's a cool town. I love being here. I've been here quite a few times at this point. I don't know if I'd travel the 20 or 30 hours it takes to get here by car simply to come to Dawson, but if I was going through the north and wanted to experience the Yukon, it would absolutely be one of the places that I would stay and probably give it a full day or two so that you can look around the area. And Dawson itself has done a pretty good job of keeping the buildings kind of original to the late 1800s, early 1900s, mostly the late 1800s. Here is James hanging out at Diamond Tooth Gertie's. He was unable to go in because the legal drinking age and gambling age in the Yukon is 19, not 18 as in Alberta. But it's a must-stop show. They do a PG-rated burlesque show, starting at about 7 o'clock at night. But it's entertaining. But here's a little bit more of the town. I really enjoy the theme, the wood walkways everywhere, the dirt. I mean, it's probably also a lot cheaper to maintain it, but it works well from a touristy standpoint. Lots of good food, lots of good artwork and gold stuff. There is this observatory. I didn't notice that drone before in the video, but just is overlooking Dawson and the Yukon River. That is a big river. Like, it's not as big as the Mackenzie we're going to come to in a couple episodes, but that river is super moving and it has a lot of water in it. This here is the ferry that crosses to and from the other side where there is territorial campground. It runs 24 hours a day during the summer, so it's quite easy to transport. But like I said, short episode, bridging, but until next time, which should be pretty soon, and the Dempster Highway.
Is it funny that somebody brought a canoe on the ferry?
I guess it go faster.